So, on the back end, nothing too exciting. There is, excuse me, the handles on the back, so if you are ever having to push and pull your caravan, always use the handles, same as on the front. What you find if you're pushing on here, you can crack this, don't forget it's only plastic, so always use the handles if you're pushing and pulling anything. Legs, so your rear legs are both on the back end, so your front legs are on the sides, and your rear legs are just on the back.
Yeah. Where's the...
So the nuts, if you see it, you'll see the nuts just on the end there. So all you do is just put your leg winder on there, and then just simply wind it down.
Yeah, they got built-in feet on it.
Yeah, they've got feet on them already.
Yeah. Is it best to keep them greased, or, you know,
Well, we've greased them up for you. They're not too bad. Just keep an eye on it.
Is there any grease nipples on it or anywhere? Or?
No, not on the modern ones. No, there is on the older ones now, but they're all sealed in as such. So we grease them and everything when you come in for service. So we maintain all of that for you. So, come round this side. First thing to show you, especially the ladies, is the door catch. So, especially with the youngsters, just make sure you show them that to release the door, they need to pull on that catch. Because what you'll find is, they'll run up, they're all excited, mum, 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 and they'll rag that bottom bit, and they'll either snap this, or they'll end up snapping this catch here. So just always, and especially if you've got guests, and you've had a few, just make sure you show them, that's how you release the door. So it's just on the catch, just simply pull the catch, and then the door comes off. Okay, and then obviously you've got the lovely barn style door as well. So you can lock the kids in. Well, not that they'd stay in there for long. I think you'd figure out how to open the door, wouldn't you?
Yeah, most definitely.
So, fridge vents here. So I've got your fridge running on gas at the minute, so it does expel a lot more heat out of this side. The heat does come out of here even if you're running it on electric. It's no different than our fridges at home. All it is we don't walk around the back of your fridges at home, so don't be alarmed if there is heat coming out the back of the fridge. Wheels and tyres. There is a lovely, Swift have made it really easy and put all the details on here for us. So it's 62 psi per tyre, and then also right at the very bottom it's 130 newton metres for your wheel nuts. Right. Now they've been checked in the PDI. I'll do your wheel nuts again for you today. But then from today onwards, it's down to yourselves to be checking your tyre pressures and your wheel nuts as well.
Just the same as you do on the car.
Yeah, same as. All it is you've only got 2 wheels on here, so if anyone has been fiddling with them, as daft as it is, and it does happen, if your wheel comes off, you're looking at not far off a write-off by the time it's hit the deck and you've dragged it down the road. So for something that takes 30 seconds, it gives you a lot of peace of mind when you're on the road. If you've got a torque spanner, ideal. If not, just use your tyre iron in the front and just make sure that your wheel nuts are tight before you set off. That's the main thing of it.
Pre-launch checks.
Yeah, that's all it is, as well as just get it into a cycle, as well as checking your lights and everything, just get into a habit of checking it, and it will give you a lot of peace of mind when you're, especially if you're new to towing as well. You don't want to be worrying when you're towing, you want to be nice and relaxed so you can concentrate and look what's going on.
Do you get a spare wheel, or is the spare wheels available for them?
Yeah, your spare wheel on here is underslung there. So, what you do is you unscrew that there, the little nut on the front you see there, then the cage pulls towards you, drops down and then slides out like on a skid sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Just hope, as long as you maintain and look after your tyres, you should never need to use it, because it's certainly not an F1 pit stop changing a tyre on these caravans.
Have you fitted new tyres on it? There, look.
Yeah, brand new tyres on it.
Say brand new tyres.
Yeah, brand new tyres.
I was looking at the clearance while I'm underneath. Obviously, if you come to a site with a speed ramp or something, you've got to obviously enter the course.
You're not too. I haven't had. The worst thing you need to look out for is dips. So that they tend to be the worst thing where you can scuff.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, speed bumps and things, it's only the same as your car. So obviously if your car's scuffing, you know just to watch it. But one of the worst things is sharp dips down. So if you imagine if you're driving down a sharp dip.
You scrape your bum or your front.
Exactly.
Again, that's what I told you.
But there's, well, my colleague's been doing it umpteen years, and he's only ever scuffed one on a steep bank. So most sites, or they'll pre-warn you before you get there if they've got any sharp corners or anything like that. The caravanning industries are very open and honest. People will always talk to you about everything, so you're certainly not going to turn to a site and no one will talk to you. They'll all be coming over gas wagons, so it's the way of caravan sites. So we'll keep coming down the side. So we've got a lovely external 240. So you've got a main socket outside, but obviously that's only live when you're plugged into the mains.
Yeah.
So, storage locker, so this is obviously underneath your front bench.
Oh wow.
So it's a dual access, you can obviously access internally as well as externally. Main thing I like to show you customers in here is this lovely black and silver box there. That's your onboard alarm system. So it's got an alarm, it's a tilt sensor alarm, so if anyone tries to nick your caravan, tilts it up in the air, it'll trigger the alarm. Also there's a motion sensor internally, so if anyone breaks in and moving around, it'll trigger off the alarm as well. But I'll show you how to switch your alarm on.
In the garden or something, and we're wondering what it is.
You haven't got cats, have you?
Neighbours have.
Neighbours. That's a good say.
Like they jump on the top or?
Well, no, it's more as if you lock one inside.
Oh,
We've got well, it's not a stray cat, it's a cat, their owner's gone on holiday, so it's moved in here, so we have to watch it that we don't lock it in any caravans on the display. So it's, last but not least, external barbecue point. So this will power up any gas appliance you want it to run outside. All you need, there's a little small brass fitting, which just pushes up into there, and obviously over the under end of the fitting, you'll have a gas pipe attached, which will go to whatever gas that you want to run outside externally. And all you do, once that bayonet fitting's in there, it'll activate this tap so you can just open that up, and as long as your bottle's in inside, it just draws off your gas bottle.
Yeah.
Inside.
Wow.
That's about this. It's not bigger than the one we use for our barbecue.
Yeah, it's a 6 kg that one.
Yeah, we use the green and red one, the smaller.
Oh yeah.
I just was trying to think how long it was going to last, that was all, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Perfect. Right, that's about everything on the outside. Any questions on anything on the exterior? Happy? No? Well, we'll crack on with the inside. If you do come up with anything, don't worry, I'm not just going to disappear off and say, right, there's your caravan. We're here for questions, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Right, well, if you want to jump inside then, and we'll make a start on the inside.
Welcome.
So, I don't know if James had time. There's only one thing I am waiting for. Is there should be a cradle in here which slides in and out. They've sent us the bars for it, but they haven't sent us the cage yet. So it's on back order as such. Obviously we are aware of it here. I'll talk about the snagging date and things though, so it's not a major thing, but we will get it fitted up. But I just wanted to show you that it was, it is here as such, but we will get it fitted on. So first place I'll start is underneath the bench seat here. So I can lift it up from the top.
seeing you putting them overshoes on, that's a damn good idea, isn't it?
I can grab you some if you want some.
Yeah, well, if I can get some, they'd be handy just to, yeah.
Did you want some now? Or you're
No, I'm fine now. I'm just thinking that's a clever idea. Just
I'll grab you some.
If you have to jump in quick anytime. Or...
So in the very top corner over there is your Aldi heating system. It switches on and off up here, so you don't need switches on and off from up there. So you don't need to go in it as such. It's just I like to tell them the location. So that's where your heating and your boiler system and everything is. Obviously the black cylinder here is your water pump, so that's what circulates the water around the van. The white cylinder is just like a suppression unit, so it stops the tap spluttering quite so much. Yeah. Down the side there, do you see the yellow tap that's sitting flat?
Yeah.
That's your drainage tap. So when it comes to winter time and you want to drain your system, all you need to do is just lift that tap up so it sits up straight.
Yeah.
What that will do then is automatically drain all the water out the boiler, and it'll also drain virtually all the water out the pipework.
Right.
All you need to do is open your taps just to get the last of the water out of the water system.
I do plumbing for a living, so I was pretty familiar with it.
That's
so,
right. Yeah, you'll be fine with that then.
Yeah. And then obviously when you if you store it for the winter or whatever, and you close it and then it fills.
Just leave it open, so when it comes to the end of the winter and you want to use your van, all you need to do is just close that, attach your water, switch on your water pump, and just pull it through your tap. Yeah. Pulling it through the tap will fill your boiler up and also bleed all the air out of the system as well. Right. Just as simple as that. Okay. Yep. Rest of it in here. The blue box here is the computer for your motor mover, and then we've got your consuming unit, so your fuse board as such here. So I don't know if you can see that from there. Yeah. So there's a squeeze in here. I'll try not to lean across the front of it. So the black button here at the very front there is a system shutdown button. See that
Yeah.
one there? That isolates all the 12-volt system. So when you're leaving it for any period of time, I would just knock that 12-volt button, and that isolates all the system then, so you're not drawing off the battery as such. Next one's across. The red light there. You ever planning on going abroad in your van?
Not at the moment.
No. Well, if you do, all it is the French do things backwards, so their power is the other way round to ours.
Oh, right, yeah.
If you do ever plug in abroad and that lights up, all it does is it stops the power here. So rather than frazzling your van, it just lets you know that the power is reversed outside.
Yeah.
So then it speaks to a friendly couple nearby or the campsite owners. It's either an adapter or a rewire of your leads.
Okay.
But I wouldn't worry about
Yeah,
that if
no,
you're
no,
staying in
that's-
this country. Next to the green one is just simply your battery charger. I would just leave that one on constantly because your battery charge will only kick in when you plug your mains in.
Yeah.
And then of course every time you plug your mains in, you know that your battery system's been recharged. The orange one is literally the power to your Aldi system.
Yeah.
Again, just leave that one on because you control it at the panels up behind me on the wall. So I would just leave that one on, and then you know that you're in control of the heating up
Are
here.
they individually fused? Are they just a standard fuse or?
Yeah, they're off the 240 breakers here.
Yeah, breakers. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the other side here, we've got your 12-volt fuses.
Oh yeah.
And then if you look on the top here, is all what the 12-volt fuses are, and also what the 240 breakers.
Yeah.
So you know if you're ever having any electrical problems, this is your first port of call to come and have a look.
Yeah.
But as I say, if you leave that green one on and the orange one on, there isn't really much reason to come in here because you can control everything up on the panels up behind me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, the other main one to show you. See where the white box is and the orange cable?
Yeah.
Do you see the little yellow fuse that's in the thing?
Yeah.
That's the sort of main fuse as such. So if you're ever coming in here and everything is dead as a dodo, 9 out of 10 times that fuse is
Is
gone.
it an inline one? Is it?
Yeah, it's like an inline
Yeah,
fuse,
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
The main reason we have troubles with it there is if anyone disconnects a battery or you haven't got a battery on and the terminals touch, that's the first fuse that it blows. So if you're ever plugging everything in and it's dead as a dodo, that's your first port of call, is just to check that fuse.
I take it you sell them in the shop.
Yes, yeah.
Pay to have a spare one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does pay to carry a few spare fuses.
We can have an emergency box, can't we, and with
Yeah.
a gas cylinder,
Yeah,
an
yeah.
emergency.
Yeah, it is an idea just to carry a few fuses, but you'll find if you ever get on a caravan site and a fuse blows, there will be someone round there that will help you. Believe me, I've had problems picking up customers' van, and I've had off the campsite there coming and helping out. So that's just what the camping environment's like. So happy with everything in here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
fantastic. Right, we'll close this one up, and we'll go to the panel above the door next.
Quick question: Does it come with a manual?
Yes.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a lot to take in, and
Yeah.
we was probably say, what the hell did he say?
Yeah, it is. That's. I mean, I'm relatively new to
Yeah.
the job, so
Oh,
I'm
right.
used to this sort of.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I do admit when I was like, oh wow, overload. But
Yeah.
I'll try and keep it as simple as I can. So, panel above the door now. So it's as easy as power off,
Wow.
power on. Is as easy as that. So that's how you switch the electrics on and off. Other buttons on here. You got the view levels. So this is where I'm saying. So this is your leisure battery. So this is where you can monitor the power of the battery.
Right.
Well, if we were plugged into the car, you can press the view levels and it'll also show you the condition of your vehicle battery. The reason for that is you can change over which battery you're running off. But in the modern age, you should be fine just to run off your leisure battery. There should never be a need to plug into the car and use your battery power. All you do is
The one can't drain the other sort of thing. No.
It's say, for example, you're on a site, you've got no electric and you've flattened your leisure battery. You can plug into the car and run off the car battery rather than the leisure battery
right,
in
yeah,
here.
yeah.
But then what you'll find is if you flatten the car, you're not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
No. So
was fair enough.
it's there as an option, but obviously you've got the solar panel and things and that in here as well anyway, so there should never really be a need for your leisure battery to be flat. The rest of the panel on here, so you get the little indication lights, lets us know the power on, and then the two at the top here, this one indicates we're powered up on the 240, so we're hooked up to the mains, and then the one inside the caravan lets us know we're running on the leisure battery. And as you see, the screen goes off. All you need to do is wake it up, is press any of the buttons, and the screen comes back alive for you. Right. But when you're on site, they're the three lights you need to see. If you know that your electricity is fine, and you're good to start enjoying your holiday. Okay? Last one on here is water pump, and it's just as easy as water pump on. and that's it. Just leave your water pump on. The only reason you'll have to turn it off is if you, when you have run out of water, the pump will run continually.
If I open this now, it'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah. What well, you'll show us probably what heats the water anyway, but yeah.
Wow.
So, as for your water system, as I've already said for priming it, it's always cold side first. The reason you do the cold first is you know that it's drawing up out that acrol and coming into the van without a problem, because sometimes them pipes can curl up, or it may have floated up to the top of the water. They'll always splutter. It's spluttered because I pulled the pipe off before, so I put some air in it.
Yeah.
But once you've got constant running water, that's the cold done. So, to fill up the water boiler and prime up the hot side is just as easy as come to the hot and just run the hot tap. It's as simple as that. Obviously it'll be stone cold to start off with, but once you've got constant running water there, you know your boiler's full of water and all the air's out the pipes. And obviously all you need to do is then go in the bathroom and just pull through the shower and the toilet. Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, we'll move on to the heating next.
Let's take a few. Oops, sorry.
So, for your heating system, this is the sort of standby screen. What it's showing us on here, the little black plug, letting us know that we're powered up off the 240. So that's the orange light on the consumer unit. Yeah. If you've got that orange light off, the system will still be on, but it's running off the 12 volt, but it works better off the 240. So you want the orange light on there and the black plug on there, and then you know you're operational. Next thing it's showing us is just an internal temperature, so it's telling us it's 23 degrees inside here. Okay? So, to wake the screen up to use it, just press the menu button. And there it is. And it's as simple as, top one, thermostat for your central heating. So all you literally do is plus and minus whatever level you want your heating on. So it's just like setting your thermostat at home. And what it will do, if the van drops below that temperature, the heating system will automatically kick in and just heat your van up. As simple as that. Next one down is your hot water. So you've got a 10 litre hot water tank. All you need to do, that's your hot water, can't switch off. So as soon as you switch this on, your hot water is already heating up. And the other function you have got on your hot water is like a boost mode if you press the up. So what that's doing now, it's drawing some power away from the central heating and putting all its power into that hot water tank to heat it up. Main reason for using that, obviously you've got some lovely little darlings that probably like a nice long shower. So if they've nicked all the hot water in the shower, if you put it up onto boost mode, it just speeds up the time it takes to heat up your hot water tank. Because obviously with the 10 litres in there, once you've used all the hot water, the water's stone cold in there. Obviously it needs to reheat that water back up before it gets hot again. So, top one central heating, next one down your hot water. As I say, your hot water's on or boost.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put it on back onto normal. The next two down are the power selects. So because it's all integrated in one unit, so your heating, your hot water's all done out that Aldi system at the front there. It will run on gas, electric, or gas and electric at the same time. So it's as easy as electric off, and then it goes 1 kilowatts, 2 kilowatts, 3 kilowatts. And all that is the amount of power that you send into the unit. The more power you send to it, the quicker your heating system will kick in, or will heat up, should I say. And then the next one is the gas, and it's just as easy as gas off, gas on. And it'll automatically prime and ignite itself. If it doesn't, it'll come up with a warning triangle on there. It lets you know that the gas hasn't lit. 9 out of 10 times it's because you haven't got your bottle switched on out there. But it will automatically prime and ignite itself. There's no getting down there holding buttons and sparking anything, it's all automatic. Okay?
Okay, self-explanatory.
Yeah. So you're happy with the basics, because there's more to it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah? But as I say, you can either run it just off gas. So the only time you'd really want to run just on the gas was if you haven't got electric. So if you're not hooked up to anything, you're better off using your gas rather than drawing the power off your battery.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But then obviously you can just run it on electric. How much power you send to that boiler is depending on how much heat you want in here. If it's deepest, darkest winter and you've just got an air and it's stone cold, we'll definitely crank it up to 3. But even turn the gas on as well, and that'll speed up the process. But what you find is, you may find you can run it on either 1 or 2 kilowatts will be fine. Once you've got the warmth in here, especially with 4 of you in here, you won't be particularly cold. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Right, you're happy with the basics?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah? Right. I'll press the little spanner, bring up the rest of it now. So, first one up there, just time and day. Because obviously there isn't a clock in here, so if you do want to know the time and the day, you can set it, and if you put the on, When you go back to the front screen, it'll show us the time and the day on there, so you can set that. But every time you switch it off as such, it resets that. So that's just a quick. So clock, first one, the little moon is a night mode, so you can program this so automatically, whatever time you tend to go to bed, 10, 11 o'clock at night, you can automatically tell your heating system to turn itself down, and you set the timer when you want that to start, when you want that to finish.
Right, okay.
So next one, delayed start timer. So this is where if you leave your van on a permanent site, you can program it so it comes on a Friday morning, so when you get down on a Friday afternoon, your van's already heated up and warm for you when you get there. So these ones across the middle, this one is you can change it from thermostatically controlled to constantly running. Don't know why you'd want to do that, because if you have it on constant, it's like boiling a bag of rice in here, put it that way. You'll be hot, you'll be hot. So next one, leave that on auto. All that is if the 240 ever fails, so in the middle of the night the power trips out on site, this will automatically revert and use off your leisure battery, so your heating system stays on.
So it's not going to cut out and you're not going to be frozen solid?
No, yeah, perfect. So next one is just pump level. I wouldn't adjust that as such. This is a feature which they released it on this model. The next year's model they decided it was a feature that no one used, so they scrapped it as such. All that is how fast it circulates the hot water around.
Right, okay.
So this one again, summer winter gas. This was a feature that they decided no one uses it, so just leave it as it is. It has no function whatsoever really as such, so I wouldn't worry about that one. The little Pac-Man with a little cross in it. What this one is an antibacterial feature for your hot water tank. So what it does, if you have that switched on about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, it superheats up the water in that tank and just kills the bacteria in that tank, 10 litre water tank. Ooh. So that's a feature that's available. And all you need to do is just switch that one on and it all does it automatic. So the thermostat, what this one is, so I'll just minus these back down to 0. You can offset the thermostat. So if you've got another thermostat in here that reads different to that one, you can sort of marry the two up so they read a consistent temperature. Next one down. Key beep, if you want it to beep or not. The little sun is just the brightness of the screen, how long it stays lit. You can change it so when you don't use the screen it's dark, which you may want to do because it is quite a bright light in the middle of the night. Language, if you want to speak French or German. The little key lock, you can put a lock on the screen so people can't fiddle with it as such. EXT is external. You can get some features added to it so you can control it off via the internet on your telephone. So if you wanted to control the heating off your internet.
Alright, okay.
Oh, I know, they're crazy, aren't they? And then amp. This one's quite good. You can set an ampage on your heating system. So if you're on a site where you're tripping the electrics constantly, what you can do is limit the amount of amps that the heating system's pulling off. So rather than every time your heating system kicks in, it's tripping the post externally, you can limit the draw off it on here so it controls the electrics internally.
Okay.
Table's done.
Yeah, fantastic.
I've had to take it off to get to the bulk behind. Just check it and make sure you're happy with it. I'll put it back on that as you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all on, but just double check it.
Much obliged. Thank you.
Lovely, cheers, lovely. So yeah, on this one you can set the ampage. Most of the sites you'll find you won't have a problem with the electrics. But if you do have a problem with the electrics, this is one way you can sort of control you having to constantly go outside and trip the post. So, next one down. This one's service.
Oh, hello. You've got your slippers on. You've been outside in those slippers.
So, top one service. I'll talk to the camera there, not listening. Top one service is just if you've got any faults or anything. Also, it'll come up, bring up the code for the unit. The good old reset. So, same as anything electrical, if it's not doing what it's told, just hit the reset. All it does is close it down and reboot it to factory settings for you. And the translator, I have not got a clue what that one is. It's a feature that they've added on to it because you can go on the Aldi website and get different apps and things added to it, the same as telephones and things. But I presume they must be foreign nationals or something. But other than that, are you happy with the basics of that screen?
Yes, thank you.
Again, is there a book with it or?
Yeah. There's an Aldi handbook and everything, so you've got all that information with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Don't jump.
Right, so there's more. There's a lot more yet. So, top cupboard here, you got your radio system.
Are you nearly done?
Yeah, nearly. So, got your radio up here, and obviously your various storage cupboards all above your heads here. Main thing is just watch Mum and Dad's cupboard. Main thing is to watch that you're not carrying anything too heavy up here when you're travelling, so obviously there is a chance they could jump out and fall out this cupboard, so it's more light stuff up here, or put heavier things up there when you get onto site itself. Okay?
Yeah.
So for your front bed, literally a slider pulls out just from underneath the table there.
Yeah, it was this.
Yeah, the very bottom one, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
And you literally just pull that all the way out to the end, and that's what makes up the middle of your bed as such.
Is it right there? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. And then obviously all you do is then turn your cushions upside down, put them into the middle. There is no set way of doing your cushions. Put them to what's comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm quite large in the rear end, so I tend to try and not have the gap where my rear end is, otherwise I tend to make a gap in the middle of it. So you can position the cushions the way you want them. My best advice is to turn the cushions upside down, because you'll find you'll wake up in the morning with buttonhole marks on you. So if you sleep on them upside down, they are comfy.
And as well, you're not wearing the top part either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you just turn it over that way. So, table at the top, I will just show you this one. So, your table obviously pulls out and drops down. But, when you push it back in, just be careful, because it'll rock then. What you need to do, there's some little plastic catches on the end. If you look on your end,